Yo, welcome to another video. In this video I would like to talk about the number of players that are currently playing Dawn of War 3. So today I had the day off and I started playing some ladder uh, early in the morning. And back then the numbers that were in the Dawn of War client was really low, around 800 to 900 people. So this is my main concern, is that the patch has just been launched like less than 24 hours ago, and already the number of players is even lower than before the patch. I'm really not sure what's the main issue with that. So if we take a look on the Steam chart, we see that the people that are currently playing Dawn of War is quite low. It used to be around 2000 before the patch, and now it's close to 1500, something like that. But in the morning it was a lot lower. So in this video I would like to talk about the changes also in the patch. I've played mostly Space Marine, but in my last 4 games I swapped to Orcs. And I have to say that Orcs are quite interesting at the moment with their shooters and everything. The only problem is that they are really hard to play in late game. So currently with Orcs I have a winning streak of 4 and I'm rank 21, but still my win percentage is quite low. I used to play a lot of Orcs before, and I didn't want to use trucks, so it didn't went really good. Currently with Space Marines I'm on rank 6, and with Eldars I haven't played Eldars for quite a while now, more than a month. I'm on rank 20. Also I'm rank 2 in the 3v3 random team. Okay, let's check a bit the ladder, the leaderboards. So if we take a look at the 1v1 for Space Marines, we have Bike Rush at the top, then Jin, and then the other Korean. I wouldn't say that Jin is a Korean. From what I know, he is currently living in Australia, but here is the main issue with the ladder. Uh, I'm currently in Europe, and I can't get matched with either Jin or this other dude from the third place, because the ladder doesn't allow us to match. And I'm not sure why Relic decided to do that. I don't think it's a good idea. I would like to play against them also. Okay, so this is the ladder for Space Marines. For Eldars, again we have, I think, Bike Rush at the top. Yes, then we have Cataclaw, again the Korean. On the 5th place is a really good player from Argentina. I see that Always Lame also is quite high in all the ladders, so he's on number 7 with Eldars. With Orcs he's currently, I think, in the top 10 also, number 7 also. And with Space Marines I'm pretty sure he's in the top 15. Okay, so 13. Okay, so these are the current standing in the ladder. I would have liked to have a individual elo ranking for each player, not like this. Currently it depends on what race you are playing when you queue up, and in regards to that you get matched. That can also be a good idea, but I would like a ladder, let's say similar to the StarCraft 1. That would be a much better indicator of how good exactly you are, because currently it's not that good. Okay, so let's take a look at the patch notes. I really like this, let's say, graphic style for the patch notes, but let's say so. First, they improved the AI. I haven't played against AI, but not sure why that's important. Okay, so they updated the codex for all the elite units. Let's take a look at that because I haven't checked that. Okay, so I want to see orc elites. Okay, so just the standard melee range and hit point. Okay, not sure if they added tooltips like damage and stuff like that for abilities. No, they are still just like this generic text without actual numbers. Okay, and most important, the balance update for multiplayer only. Okay, in terms of gameplays, I see that they increased the cooldown for the super abilities. This can be interesting, and I'm fine with this, mainly because I don't like to use the super abilities. I'm better off keeping those elite points and field a big elite like the Imperial Knight or Big Beauty when I'm playing Orc. So also they have increased the base acquisition rate by quite a lot, and this can let's say snowball quite a lot in the first 10 minutes of the game. So you will see a lot more tier 1 units on the field because of this. Also the base turrets uh, have a much lower damage now. They are much easier to assault. Okay, but their damage, uh, if you gonna play 2v2 or 3v3, it will be a bit higher because the base will still have only 2 turrets. Also in the escalation phase, the refund has been increased. So even if you lose a lot of units in the first phase, you can just spam some more. This is something really good. I really like that they added this Morgsmire map for the 1v1 because I think it's a really good design map, and it's one of my favorite at the moment for the 1v1 ladder. They also added a new map for the 3v3, this Crucible of Vault, but I haven't played on it yet, so I'm not sure about it. Also they have removed some power nodes in the middle. Okay, so let's take a look. First of all, for the Space Marine, they fixed an issue where the servitors could see over some high blockers. I still saw that some bugs uh, are still present where you can get, let's say, vision on high grounds with workers sometimes when you shouldn't, but still it's good that they fix this. For tactical marines, they've also buffed them quite a lot. Their range damage has been increased a lot. Also their melee upgrade, and most importantly the reinforcement cost has been reduced. So now they are, let's say, quite good. I still don't like them. I still prefer to use scouts. Mostly because I like their, let's say, mobility. With tactical marines you have to have the special doctrine that allows them to move faster out of combat. Otherwise they are just too slow to be able to use them properly. Also this is really good that the reinforcement cost have been diminished by quite a lot, especially in terms of power. So now you can get the flamer upgrade. I'm not sure about the plasma gun. I saw that many space marine are using plasma guns, but I think the flamer is the better option. Either you keep the tactical marines with their usual default loadout, or you add the flamer because the plasma gun doesn't really feel that good. There are many bug fixes in regards to the reinforcement costs and stuff like that for the, let's say, plasma tactical marines. Fix an issue where tactical marines could get both plasma and flamer upgrades if they were triggered simultaneously. Okay, I wasn't aware of this, but I know that stuff like this where you trigger something simultaneous is also done with the power nodes. So when you take a point and you want to make, let's say, 2 points at a time, you click one and you spam the hotkey for the other and you land two and they will build at the same time. I really don't agree that stuff like that are in the game, and I know that some people are abusing that. I try not to get into, let's say, stuff that I know will be fixed in the near future. I hope so. Okay, so the scout snipers. I really start to add some scout sniper. In some matches, I even start with scout sniper first, and then I put a scout in the drop pod and another scout sniper. They are really good now because they are more agile, so you can move them. So scout snipers no longer need to wait for a short time before being able to move after firing their weapon. This is really good because now you can dodge, let's say, truck suicide uh, ability or storm boys against suicide ability, weird boy uh, E ability, the foot of Gork, and even against assault marines. You can spread them around and support them with some normal scouts with some grenades. I really like this change. Okay, so for assault marine, uh, they have increased the charge for the jump, but most importantly, they have moved the power source at the second tier. So this is a good decision. Also, they have improved the cost of the power swords, and most importantly, they have reduced the damage of the Asali because this ability used to be quite broken. Using this ability, you could easily deal with Slaga. I don't even want to say shooters because nobody was building shooters before. They were just paper to Assault Marine and Dire Avengers and almost everything. Okay, so Assault Marine got nerfed, but I think they are still usable. I don't like them because they are heavy on power. I prefer to spend that power to get the machine cult faster and some vehicles. So. Okay, now the last cannon devastators. What's really good about them is that the beam intensifies a lot, and it doesn't. So the second uh, sentence will no longer decay when switching targets. This is really important because before this, the last cannon was quite useless. Or I think the worst anti-vehicle unit in the game. But now they are really good. But what's important, they will reset if they are stunned, knocked back, or placed into status. Okay, so for Whirlwind, fix an issue where Whirlwind using the Thunderhawk redeployment would move back. Okay, I haven't actually used this doctrine because I mainly play 1v1 and I don't have room for this Thunderhawk redeployment, but okay, it's a good fix. Okay, so they also improved the Predator Distractor. I've started to use this kind of Predators long before the patch, like 1 or 2 weeks before I started to make the mass scouts into Predator build with Imperial Knights so I can get that extra long shot ability. So this is quite good. Also the area of effect has been increased and they got a little bit more hit point. Okay, the kill team also has been improved. I find this good mainly because I play Space Marine as my main race, so I can say that they didn't felt like they were the weakest. They were only good if you could land a good grenade and not being engaged in melee in order to use a flamer versus a infantry blob. But still, this is quite good. For the librarian, they only put a cap on the number of units that can be hit by the Fury of the Ancients. Okay, so now it can only hit 5 members, 5 squad members. Okay, for Angelos, they've removed the knockback from the critical. Also, the damage from the critical side has been increased by 5. Okay, for Terminators, the Cyclone missile barrage. Okay, Buff the speed it takes to fire a full volley. Okay, rate of fire it's twice as fast. Okay, so they also fixed this. If you got some devastators from the drop pods, now they can also have that doctrine. Okay, now for the Venerable Dreadnought, I'm not sure if it was really needed to buff him because he already felt like one of the most powerful 7-8 points in the game. But I see they have increased his range damage by quite a lot. Also, maximal charge can no longer be intercepted by enemy units in between Venerable Dreadnought and its target. Okay, for Solaria, um, remove the slow from gets hot. Okay, the knockback from the Gatling barrage, and also increase the range for the Aerostorm missile. Okay, so all around high buffs for Solaria. She's the only 10 elite points, so she should be a bit stronger than the other big elites, let's say. Additional changes: increased shields granted by planned standard. Okay, so this is quite useful. Plus 100 hit point. Drop pod damage versus building currently under construction. Okay, so it used to be really high. I didn't know this. Okay, tip of the spear: units must be out of combat for 20 seconds before being able to reinforce. Okay, I mostly don't like to use this doctrine, but maybe for team games it has a lot of value. Okay, now for the population. It's really nice that they put the workers to 1 because before workers could really influence your upkeep. If you got like four servitors, you could easily get into upkeep, even with let's say 4 to 5 scouts, and scouts used to be only 5 food each. Also, the assault marine now are a lot more food, so they will be a lot more heavy on the upkeep. They've buffed the scout snipers by 1 population. They've increased the devastators. Also, they've increased the land speeder food. This is a good change because land speeders are quite useful, quite good. And they have decreased the dreadnought and the 2 predators, and also increased the whirlwind. Okay, now for the Eldar. So what's really important is that now the boss singers will start with their teleport on cooldown, and this really helps because they can no longer contest, let's say, nodes from the opponent side and cap those and get some listening posts over there and stuff like that. It's really much easier to deal with Eldar in in the first phase of the game because of this. Also, the Dar Avengers, they have been nerfed, so their damage has been reduced. Also, the shield bonus. I'm not sure if they should have added this doctrine debuff because at the moment that doctrine is quite, let's say, useless. For only 10% shield bonus, it's not worth it. For Howling Banshees, they've, let's say, nerfed the quick strike because it doesn't do that much damage. Also, they have fixed some synergy between Striking Scorpion's presence and Banshee. We fixed some unintentional damage stacking. This was quite annoying because some people would, let's say, abuse this with 2 Banshee squads and they would get a huge damage bonus because of this. So, Reflective Strike, instead of being invulnerable, Howling Banshees take half damage. So, all over the board for Eldar, huge nerfs to the Bone Singer, to the Dire Avenger, to the Howling Banshee. Also, I'm not sure why they nerfed now the Rangers, because nobody spam Rangers since the game was out of the beta, so I'm not sure. They have that you have to be okay with delaying your tech progress if you want to get some rangers. Well, I'm not sure if this is a smart idea because now nobody will use rangers. They just delay the tech way too much. Okay, for the fire priest they have increased the range damage, and this is good because the fire priest used to be the worst unit in the game. For the striking scorpions, so there have been nerfed quite a lot. So first of all, the damage bonus used to be 100% when they were on the hunt. That was quite high. Also, the damage type has been changed from true damage to normal damage. So basically now they are, let's say, like a better Banshee squad that can also leap. Not sure if the Eldar player will use them. From what I saw, they already started to look at other elites. Let's say Maka for the first elite, and then maybe add 2 5 elites or a 5 and maybe a 9 elite. So Maka, um, her W ability has been reduced. Let's say damage, but also damage mitigation has been increased. So, but what's important is that the maximum number of units per squad has been set to 4, so she can no longer, let's say, demolish 4 or 5 squads that are bunched up and blobbed in one spot. It will still do a lot of damage, and 4 members from each squad will get hit, but still. Okay, I also see a bug fix in regards to Maka's chance, who spawn through healing. Okay. About uh, this elite unit, James R, I'm not sure. Let's say so. The initial damage has been, uh, let's say, reduced, but the return damage has been increased with that same amount for the silent death ability. Overall, I don't think that this champion, this elite unit, gets a lot of attention because she isn't really that good. It's better to go for war spiders or maybe Kyr for 1 more point, and you get a lot more benefit. For war spiders, they've really buffed the slow mines, mainly because now the activation time is a lot lower. So even in combat you can place the mines and then you only have to wait for 3 seconds and they will be up and running. So the war spiders now I think they are quite good. I used to play them like 4 to 5 weeks ago, mainly against orc in order to control the orc horde. But overall they were underperforming. For the same price you can get Kyr that has two damage type. Also the Whirlwind ability does 2 damage, and you also can crowd control even let's say vehicles and just grab them and position them in a spot. There can be some interesting plays now with war spiders, mines and Kyr in order to crowd control the opponent. So for the Wraith Lord, um, while Presence Doctrine are intended to be powerful effects, the Wraith Lord feels too cheap relative to how easy it is to use. Okay, I'm not sure. This wasn't really that good. Okay, you were able to call in raid guards and raid blades near to the raid lord position, but not that good for 1v1 at least. Also, most game would end way before the raid lord would hit the field, so this hasn't seen much play, let's say. Additional changes: Edgy Storm. I see that the damage per tick has been reduced to half. Also, the Lightning Bolt. I'm not sure why they decided to lower the webway gates. Mainly because I think they have reduced the damage from the trucks. I think they used to two-shot it, and now maybe even two-shotting doesn't kill the webway gate. I'm not sure. I haven't played there, so I still need to look into that. Improve webways, no longer allow webgate to relocate in tier 1. Okay, so this is quite bad for Eldars because now they really have to position their webways something, let's say, safe. And I'm not sure why Relic decided to keep that, let's say, feature in the game that allows the opponent to see the webway on the minimap, because it's so easy to harass them, let's say, maybe not early game because you don't have the damage to take it down, but in the mid phase of the game when you have like a land speeder, you go and harass the generators, and when you come back you can easily snipe the webway on your way back. Relocation cast time increase from 4 seconds to 10 seconds. Okay, so now they take a lot longer to relocate. Also for the population, the Dara Avenger has been increased from 6 to 8. So back when there were only 6, it was so easy to get map dominance, and you only needed like 4 squads against, let's say, another Eldar. Maybe you needed one more because people usually stack them, but overall they've increased the population all across the board, so for each unit. Even for the Viper it's quite a huge, from 5 to 9, it's a huge leap. So just nerfs all around the board for the Eldar. I'm not sure about this. I think they over nerfed them, to be honest. So let's see, for the orcs, now the Gretchins. Doctrines, find the goods, place a single mine on top of a scrap pile. Yeah, now stealth, now give them stealth. This is still a pretty shitty doctrine. I'm not sure what's the what's the point of it for, let's say, 1v1. It's just a fun doctrine. For the boys, decrease shout speed bonus stacking from WAG. So they have nerfed the boys by quite a lot, by almost 50% for their speed stacking. Shooters, they have increased their hit point, and now shooters are really good. Also, before this video, if you take a look at my games, I started to play some orcs, and I really enjoy, let's say, spamming shooters because they are so good with their auto casting sticka bombs, and you can also throw some sticka bombs. They are just so cheap. Also in let's say phase 2 and phase 3, they are a lot better at taking down listening posts than, let's say, tank busters or something like that. If you go with 3 squads, you can easily destroy a listening post. For tank busters, squeak mine now functions like a squeak bomb and only makes a mine if it cannot find a target. Okay, because before it used to have some bugs. You would send a squeak mine and they wouldn't act like normal, go and search and find a target. They would just enter in the, let's say, in the mine state, and after that maybe get out and find a target. Trucks has been nerfed, so the damage from the suicide has been reduced, but even with this reduced damage, I've had some games where they can still one-shot scout snipers with ease with this. So it's really important, if you play against orc and if you want to get some scout snipers, to be careful of trucks. If they use it on a scout squad, it's not important because it's only true on the requisition. You get 35% out of it. He wasted his cooldown, but if you lose a sniper squad, it's really a big hit in the early game. Okay, so against objectives, they have also reduced the damage by quite a lot, because before you would just spam trucks and go to the shield generators and spam them, and also from unlimited to 5, so you can no longer hit a massive amount of units but with this suicide. So they have buffed the death copta. This is good because this unit doesn't see a lot of action, especially in the 1v1. They are quite bad. I used to get some death copters against space marines like 3 or 4 weeks ago in some of my matches, and I usually use them to hunt down whirlwinds because you can one-shot it with their Q ability if you have scrap, and they are really good at that. For killer cans, the number of rockets remain visible in the hell bar under more cases, reduce rocket range and long range rocket doctrine on long range. Okay, so they've nerfed that traveling rocket. For dev dreads, I see, so the shield has been increased by 200. That's why the dev dread feel a lot more tanky now. Also the duration for the scrap shield has been increased from 5 to 10. So all over the board buffs of the for the dev dreads. This is quite good because before the dev dreads were underperforming for their, let's say, price. This is a good change. For big truck, let's say kill from afar, so when you put the big truck in the artillery stance, it will now slow vehicles instead of stunning them. Also their price has been lowered, so from the salvage cost this is quite cheap and quite good, because you can use big tracks in order to long range siege, shield generators and turrets and even cores. So for Storm Boys, again the same, suicide bomba, damage reduction, and also the maximum number of members per squad that it can hit. When upgraded with scrap, their damage has been lowered by half. Okay, and this, I think it's a bug that could happen, and they also changed the hotkey from Q to X. Okay. For Weird Boy, um, so the area effect removed from range damage now does true damage, so this is quite good. So his normal attack now it's a lot better. They have also buffed the shield ability, so his cone ability that can also deal damage to opponents, but if you have some units you can also give them armor. So if you have some boys, let's say meeting some other units, you can use this ability to also give them shield and also damage the opponent. So they have removed the damage from here we go. This used to be really good, let's say even close to broken. It could easily wipe squads in 2 seconds, even big squads like assault marines with each individual member having 300 hit points. It could easily demolish them in few seconds. So the travel time for the Feast of Gorg used to average about 4 seconds, so they have reduced it to 3.5. Okay, regard of the range, this is a good improvement for the Feast of Gorg. So for the Mad Red, they have increased his hit point pool, also lowered the cooldown for the tunnel. The Mad Red is good. I used to play in 2v2s with Mad Red. It's really good to deliver, let's say, the rock, but overall it's a unit that was underperforming for the amount of elite points that you would spend for it. So for the first 9 elite, they've increased the range, okay, for the long for his basic attack. Also increase the damage for the old Daka, and they have do some bug fixes. So all the Daka no damage to shield generators. Now it does. Issue with cancelling the Gorgonaut rocket first ability. A bug where loot would sometimes fail to work. Okay. Additional changes. So boys population have been decreased, shooters has been increased, knobs have been decreased by quite a lot, so now it's really good to get knobs. I think even in my last game I used to have like 3 squads of knobs, and I didn't feel like the upkeep was that big even with 3 squads of knobs, let's say 5 of shooters and 3-4 tank busters. So this is quite good. Now knobs are a lot better because of this. Looters have been increased, tank busters have been increased by quite a lot, so from 6 to 10. Now it's not that good to get, let's say, 4 or 5 tank busters, because you end up to invest a lot of population in them. Trucks have been also increased. Okay. Dev copters increased. Kilakian increased by 1. Dev dreads are now 15. Quite a lot for a dev dread. When you consider that a normal dread is 17. I'm not sure about this. And big trucks 19. This is a lot. Quite a lot when a predator is only 17. And we have some bug fixes regarding audio, campaign, save and load, multiplayer. This with user interface. I had a game today where I couldn't pan my in-game camera to the left. It would bug, and I had to play using the keyboard in order to move around. It was really annoying. I still ended up playing a 30-minute match. That match can be found, let's say, here. Got the camera pan bug. It's quite an annoying bug that happened. So let's see.
Input task.
Okay.
Capture and
If you watch
control
the
Pro-Chapel barracks will be
replay,
made
you see
according to
that
template.
my camera would just move to the top out of
Fabrication.
nowhere.
Initiating listening post deployment.
Point captured. May this fuel our
Let's take
victory.
a look.
A weak
And
enemy
now
force
I
has
struggle to
engaged
fix
us.
it, and I try to alt tab and stuff like that. Look at that. Trying to use the scroll mouse to pan in order to fix it. So, because of this, I couldn't contest early game.
Chapel
I was
barracks
just
reports
panning
ready.
the camera up.
Preparing snipers for deployment.
Couldn't properly use my scouts.
Master's terrain will be secured
He
by
managed to get
servitor.
Metonians. We
This
still
one
have
serves
a
as
really
punishment
long
for
game.
redacted.
It was really annoying that
Point
that bad.
captured.
I'm not sure why
May this
this
fuel
bug
our victory.
My opponent also
Sniper scouts deployed.
This one will
For me, it was the first time after
what toy delivering servitor to specify the
A point has been lost.
250 games between the release and the beta.
Let us get to it, snipers!
Because of this panning, I even got some tacticals. I usually don't get tacticals against orcs, but this was really frustrating, and I had
We
to
have a
use
listening
scroll.
post now.
Okay, so I really hope that they will improve this. I encourage you to check
Focusing
it.
our power. A servitor is en route. Once thou cast the holy staff.
To take a good, let's say, fight against him. Offline playing performance, improve on 4K, okay. When using the rock ability. Okay, so this is mainly the video in regards to the balance. I have waited in order to play some games before I wanted to talk about this. So currently on the ladder I'm rank, let's see. So with the Eldar 20, with the Orcs 21, and with the Space Marine I'm 6. For some reason I have increased my rank by not playing, because I was 7 2 hours ago when I last played my game with Space Marine. So I have this victory with orcs, another victory. I had 4 orcs victory in a row, and then with Space Marines 2 victories, 3. This was the defeat against John. This was the game that the camera bugged occurred, and I couldn't move properly, and after that I had my rematch and I managed to win. Okay, so overall, in regards to the balance patch, I think it's good, but I think Relic nerfed Eldar too much. They shouldn't have, let's say, nerfed the Webway, the Air Avengers, Striking Scorpions, and almost everything. They just nerfed them to the ground. I'm not sure if that's smart because it's really hard to play Eldar at the moment because all of these changes. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. I hope it was good insight in regards to the game, and I really hope that the number of players will increase. So let's take a look again. I see in the last 36 minutes another 100 people joined the game, but that's mainly because in Europe it's, let's say, the normal gaming time. Okay, so thanks again. See you in the next video.